guys, welcome back to our channel. Today we start a new series. We're gonna go through the heroes in the Bible. Today Brother Jamie is gonna teach on Elijah, and I hope you guys like this video. If you like it, give us a share the video and give us a thumbs up. Thank you. Have a nice day.
Bible hero, Elijah. Alright, Elijah. Now, there are quite a few things in the Bible we find out about Elijah. You know, we see that he prayed and it stopped raining for 3 years.
That's sad.
Yeah. We see that he went to live with this, he went and stayed with this family, this widow and her son, and he said, hey, give me the food first. No, like, we only have a little bit. It's like they're on their last 2 goldfish. One for each of them. And they said, we're going to eat it and then we're going to die because we have nothing left. And he said, no. All right, it was the stuff to make bread just so they could have a little bit to eat. It wasn't actually yeast, but it was the mix, like the meal, and then you had the oil, and they were getting sticks together for the fire. And they're like, this is going to be our last meal because we're out of food. And he said, if you give it to me first, you will not run out. And they're like she's afraid of blowing it because it's going to blow what's left away. And he's like, just trust me. And she fed him. And then for the remaining time of the famine there and of the drought, that little bit never ran out. We see that her son died, and Elijah prayed, and God brought him back. Story after story of Elijah. But it culminates, the greatest moment in Elijah's life happened right here in 1 Kings chapter number 18. We're going to read a few verses here. Be ready to read. And we're going to read them quick. We don't have a ton of time. Alright, we're going to read them quick. We only have about 10 minutes. Alright, so let's get right into it, and let's see what the Bible says. I'm gonna let you guys read 4 verses of all the verses we're reading. Alright, so only 4 people get to read. So you got to be the first one with your hand up. Alright? First one with your hand up. Here we go. And they took the bullock which was given them, and they dressed it, and called on the name of Baal from morning until noon, saying, O Baal, hear us. But there was no voice nor any answer, and they leapt upon the altar which was made.
Wait, were you saying chapter 18?
Chapter 18, verse 26. And it came to pass at noon that Elijah mocked them and said, Cry aloud, for he is a god. Either he is talking, or he is pursuing, or he is in journey. Or peradventure he sleepeth, and must be awake. Nolan.
And they cried aloud and cut themselves after their manner with knives and lances. Till the blood gushed out upon them.
And it came to pass, when midday was past, that they prophesied unto the time of the offering and the evening sacrifice, and there was neither voice, nor any answer, nor any that regarded. And Elijah said unto all the people, Come near unto me. And all the people came near unto him, and he prepared the altar of the Lord that was broken down. Elena.
And Elijah took 12 stones according to number of the tribes of the sons of Jacob, unto whom the word of the Lord came, saying, Israel shall be thy name.
Emma.
And with the stones, he built an altar in the name of the Lord, and he made a trench about the altar as great as would contain 2 measures of seed.
And he put the wood in order, and cut the bullock in pieces, and laid him on the wood, and said, Fill 4 barrels with water, and pour it on the burnt sacrifice and on the wood. And he said, Do it the second time. And they did it the second time. And he said, Do it a third time. And they did it a third time. Courtney.
And the water ran around about the altar, and he filled the trench also with water.
And it came to pass, at the time of the offering of the evening sacrifice, that Elijah the prophet came near and said, The Lord God of Abraham, Isaac, and of Jacob, and of Israel, let it be known this day that thou art God in Israel, and that I am thy servant, and that I have done all these things according to thy word. Hear me, O Lord, hear me, that this people may know that thou art the Lord God, and that thou hast turned their heads back again. Then the fire of the Lord fell, consumed the burnt sacrifice, and the wood was gone from dust, and licked up the water that was in the trench. So, you grab a chair, who's one? There you go. Alright, So as we look here, we're talking about Elijah. We're talking about the fire falling from heaven. It's a pretty awesome story, right? All right. Has anybody here ever tried to burn wet wood?
Nope. No.
It does not work. Okay. All right. I put a log on the fire one time, not realizing how wet it was, and all the rest of the fire was burning, and that log just sat there. And I'm like, this isn't helpful. And eventually, I had to put more stuff on it that wasn't wet, and eventually, after a while, the log started to dry out a little bit, but it still didn't burn. All right, wet wood takes a while to dry, in case you're curious. But Elijah here is saying, take these big, huge barrels of water and drench the wood, the altar, everything. And he dug a trench. All right, everybody know what a trench is? A ditch. Okay? And it was full of water. And the Bible says that the fire of the Lord fell and consumed everything. Now, I don't know about you guys, but what I see here, I see a lot of interesting things in the story. But number one, I see there was a challenge. There was a challenge. All right? The challenge was that Elijah said, hey, we're both going to go here and we're going to stand up in front of all Israel. There's 450 of you. There's one of me. We're going to stand up before all Israel and we're going to say, whichever God sends fire down from heaven, that person's God. And whichever one doesn't, they lose. So we see there was a challenge. All right, now, all these prophets of Baal were like, cool, let's do it. So they put all this stuff on the altar. All right, they put all this stuff on the altar. This is going to be our altar. All right. All right, so I need one person who wants to be Elijah. Who wants to be Elijah?
I've been Paulette before.
Someone who can make fun of people really good.
I can do that.
I honestly believe it's going to be Emily. You got to be Saul.
Yeah.
All right.
Can I be the prophets of Baal?
All of y'all get to be the prophets of Baal. So everybody stand up. Everybody stand up. Everybody stand up. Come on. All right. Here's the altar. All right. So I want you guys to surround the altar. All right. Elijah, go over here. Everybody surround it. Get in a circle. Not like right up against it, guys. Spread out just a little bit. Back up a little bit. Back up a little bit. All right. Now, here's what I need you to do. All right. They screamed, they hollered, and they danced around it. So I want you guys to jump all around it, scream, holler, for about 1 minute while Emma makes fun of you. All right, are you ready to make fun of them?
Wow.
Come on. I want you to be inspired here. All right? Pretend like you're just making fun of Nick. All right, here we go. Are y'all ready?
How loud are we screaming?
As loud as you want.
Oh, yes.
For 1 minute. Ready? Go. They did everything they could think of to make a big scene. Okay? What you guys just did was make a big scene. Alright? You attracted attention. You looked like you were doing something. Alright? And that's what they did. They looked like they were doing something. And Elijah literally stood over. He said, maybe he's asleep. Go louder. You know, he's like, maybe he's out fishing. Maybe he had to go to the store. He's like, yeah, I mean, he's literally sitting over there laughing. Like, laugh at people who fall. Okay? I do. Alright? So he's sitting there saying, hey, pay attention, pay attention, pay attention. And as he stands over on the side, 4 minutes. And as he stands over on the side, he's sitting there like, oh, yeah, this is great. You know, he's laughing, he's having a good time. Because he made a challenge. And that challenge was, hey, let's see who God is real. And then what we see two things to finish up. We see that there are winners, we see there was a winner, and we see there was a loser. Because when the dust settled, when everything happened here on Mount Carmel, when everything was done, the prophets of Baal were tired because they spent all day dancing and screaming for nothing. They were sore because they had taken and cut themselves and done everything to draw attention to themselves to try to wake Baal up because he was asleep or on vacation. I think he was on vacation. But
I think he was dead.
yeah, that could be it too. And so he was all these things. But then you see Elijah who just comes and he says, throw water. And they're like, wet wood does not burn. And he goes, throw more water. And they're like, okay, now he's just making a joke at us. He's like, throw it one more time. And he rebuilt the altar. It's all covered in water. And he kneels down and he prays and he says, hey, he says, God of Isaac, of Abraham, of Isaac, Israel, show everyone here today that you're real. Show everyone here today that you're real. He wasn't he wasn't doing what they did. What did they do? They said, look at me. Look at me. They're dancing around, they're screaming, they're hollering, they're trying to get attention. He just says, God, tell everybody here, all the people, that you're real and that you're God. The Bible says that fire fell from heaven. And it consumed all the burnt offering, all the wood, all the water. Everything gone. And Elijah knelt there. And God proved he was real. Today, as we finish up here talking about Elijah, what I want you to remember is that you guys are living in a time in the world that's not easy. There are people all around you who don't believe in God. Elijah was 1 against 450. None of them believed in God, and he stood by himself. But he didn't tell everybody, look how I know better. He didn't tell everybody, I'm smarter than you and you're wrong. He could have stood there and been like, you know, he could have just said, I'm right and you're wrong. And he was. But what did he do? He knelt down and he said, God, you prove you're right. You prove you're right. You know, you guys have a great opportunity. You're in children's church, you're in church, you get to learn the Bible. Some people don't have that opportunity. And if you go to them and you say, you're wrong because you don't believe in Jesus, and you're mean about it, they're never going to believe in Jesus. But if you just say, hey, God, prove you're right. You gave me an opportunity. Let me show them God. Sometimes it's not fire falling from heaven. God shows himself in so many ways. What you guys need to do is be like Elijah. Stand up for what's right. Do right things. But kneel down and say, God, you're God. I'm not. What do you want me to do? Show yourself. Here I am. I'm an example. And I'm trusting you. Because Elijah here, all he wanted, after being alone this whole time in his mind, he's stuck, he's by himself. All he wanted was to say, you all stand against me, you're standing against God. But the only person that matters is God. The only person that matters is God. That's the story of Elijah. Fire falling from heaven, rain stopping everything, was the whole life of Elijah saying, you can do everything you want against me, but here's God. And he'll prove he's real. I don't have to do it. All you need is God. Let's pray. Dear Heavenly Father, I thank you. I praise you for how amazing you are, how wonderful you are, all the things you've done for us. I pray you be with us today. Help us to love you, Lord, to follow you. trust you and to put you out front in front of us so that you're the example. We thank you and praise you in Jesus' name. Amen.